Did you know that 5 easy full body stretches can drastically change how your body looks and feels? So let's jump right in with our first stretch, the knee to chest stretch. Now, this might look like a very simple movement, but don't let that fool you. It's one of the best ways to relieve lower back tension, improve flexibility in your hips, and gently stretch your glutes. If you ever wake up feeling stiff or experience tightness after sitting for long hours, this pose gives you the chance to train your joint flexibility and mitigate spinal issues. The best part here is that you don't need any equipment, since you can do it right from the comfort of your bed or on a yoga mat. If you want to keep your lower back pain-free and mobile, this is one stretch you'll want to add to your routine. So here's how you do it. Start off by lying on your back with knees bent and your feet against the floor. Make sure your back is flat onto the mat so that you can also engage your core when you stretch. Slowly raise your right knee and use your hands to grasp onto your lower right leg. You should be able to interlace your fingers as they rest below your knee. Hold this position and tighten your abs. Relax your other muscles as you do so in order to stretch even the hard-to-reach muscles of your lower back. Hold this stretch for 30 seconds, then switch to the left leg. Trust me, if you've never done it before, you might be surprised at how much tension you're holding in your lower back. For a more intense stretch, you can hold this position for longer. All right, now that we've loosened up some of our muscles, it's time to target the hamstrings, calves, and arms with the downward dog. Now, this stretch is great for loosening up your hamstrings, shoulders, and upper back while also improving overall flexibility. These are some of the most overworked and tight areas of the body, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting or doing repetitive movements. By incorporating the downward dog into your routine, you help lengthen your spine, open up your shoulders, and stretch out your legs, making everyday movements like bending, reaching, or simply standing feel a whole lot better. If you've ever felt stiff in your lower back or tight around your calves, this stretch is a must-have in your routine. It helps you manage strenuous physical activity, which is why you will see this stretch being used a lot by athletes such as runners before getting into action. Let me show you how to do this. On your mat, prop yourself onto all fours with your hands wide apart and your knees bent. Gradually raise your hips until your bottom is up and your hips are pointed high up. You should look as if you are forming the two upper sides of a triangle. Straighten your legs as much as you can, but having a slight bend is all right. Your palms should rest flat on the mat as your head is down. You'll know you're doing it right when you can see your knees and lower legs in this angle. Hold this position for 40 seconds before slowly easing your way back up. After just less than a minute of this stretch, you're going to feel your whole body open up. But if this stretch feels too easy, you can pedal your feet to deepen the calf stretch or shift your weight forward and back to increase mobility. By now, I'm certain you will be closely anticipating our fourth stretch, since it is one that can reverse months to even years' worth of bodily aches. We'll get to that in a bit, but currently we are moving on to the straddle stretch. But before we move on, if you're finding this helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It lets us know that you want more content like this. It also helps us continue with bringing you the best tips to keep your body moving pain-free. Right now, we're at the straddle stretch. At first glance, it may look like you're just sitting with your legs wide apart, but this movement provides a deep stretch that targets your inner thighs, hamstrings, and lower back, while also helping to improve overall flexibility and hip mobility. It's also going to challenge your posture as you work on maintaining an upright spine while reaching forward. Now, this stretch isn't just about flexibility, it's also about functionality. Just like in leaning down to pick something up, or maintaining stability in wide stances, the pose here tests your ability to reach out far. The straddle stretch not only makes these everyday tasks easier, but it also reduces stiffness and helps prevent lower body tightness by increasing mobility in your hips and legs. Because of this, you may have noticed people using this as a way of training themselves to perform splits. To perform this, sit onto your mat. At the beginning, keep your legs fully extended in front of you. From then on, spread your legs as far apart as you can take them. Your knees should remain straight while your toes are pointed up. As you do this, you will begin to feel a stretch around your lower back all the way to your thighs. Hold this position as you carefully lean down, arms fully extended as you reach your fingertips in front of you. Ideally, try reaching until your fingertips are aligned with your toes. However, it's okay to reach a closer distance for now. Hold this position for 30 seconds, letting the stretch in your back, abs, and thighs loosen up all those compressed areas. As you practice this stretch, you'll feel your legs loosen up and your flexibility improve. If it feels too easy, try walking your hands further forward or gently pressing your thighs down more to deepen the stretch. Now that we've focused on building flexibility and endurance, let's shift gears and dive into a movement that boosts stability to a whole other level. The low lunge is one of the most effective and fundamental stretches for improving lower body flexibility. It even targets the hip flexors, the muscles in the front of your hips, which can become tight from constant sitting, running, or intense workouts. Tight hip flexors can limit your mobility and even contribute to lower back discomfort. This stretch not only helps open up your hips and lengthen your muscles, but it also improves posture and reduces the risk of injury by keeping your lower body balanced and flexible. Also, by doing it properly, you also get to gently stretch your chest and shoulder muscles, redirecting proper blood and oxygen flow in all these areas. Look, if you've ever felt tightness in your hips or struggled with lower back stiffness, this stretch is exactly what you need. It's also going to help improve the effectiveness of other lower body stretches by increasing your overall range of motion. Now, I know it looks simple, but I suggest easing yourself into this. You don't want to force the stretch too quickly. To start, place your right leg forward, holding a standard lunge position with your right foot placed firmly on the ground. Set your left knee down onto the mat. The area from your lower left leg all the way to your shin should stay flat. Straighten your posture as you elongate your arms fully, with your fingertips pointing to the ceiling. Take deep breaths and hold this position for 30 seconds. Switch sides right after. If you want to deepen the stretch, stretch your arms overhead as far as you can take them, or twist slightly toward your front leg to open up the hips even more. Keep your core engaged and avoid overarching your lower back. After just a couple of sets of this stretch, you're going to feel your hips start to really open up. But if this stretch feels too easy, you can try raising your back foot onto a bench or adding a slight backward lean to increase the intensity. When most people stretch, they may overlook the benefits of doing forward folds with chest expansion, which is why I included this stretch in the video. This movement is an incredibly effective way to target the hamstrings, shoulders, and upper back, while also opening up the chest. It's a simple yet powerful stretch that enhances flexibility, releases built-up tension, and improves posture, key factors in maintaining a pain-free, mobile body as we get older. So, if you spend long hours sitting at a desk or frequently experience stiffness in your hamstrings and shoulders, this stretch is a game changer. Poor posture, tight shoulders, and a lack of full-body movement in daily life often contribute to tension in these areas. The forward fold with chest expansion reverses these effects by lengthening the hamstrings, stretching the arms thoroughly, opening up the chest, and working on overall mobility. Follow closely how to do it, and then we'll be getting into that structured full-body stretching routine in a bit. Start by standing straight and keeping all your muscles relaxed. Lift both arms over your head before lowering them until your elbows align with your head. Then, stretch your arms all the way back, fingers interlacing as firmly as you can to fully stretch the muscles in your chest and shoulders. Afterwards, lean your torso downwards until your stomach is facing your thighs. Hold this position for 30 seconds. You can tighten the grasp of your hands to intensify the stretch. Alternatively, you can use a towel or band and grasp its ends instead of clasping your hands. As you slowly rise back up, focus on keeping control of the movement to maximize the stretch's effectiveness. If you want to deepen the stretch, try bringing your palms closer together or gently shifting your weight forward onto the balls of your feet. You're going to want to avoid forcing the stretch, ease into it, and let your body gradually loosen up. If this feels too easy, try holding it longer or gently rocking forward and back to enhance the intensity. All right, now's the time for me to show you how you can combine these movements into a super quick and effective routine that you can do 3 times a week. This sequence will improve flexibility, boost circulation, and increase endurance, all in under 10 minutes. Whether you're a beginner or looking to increase the challenge, I'll guide you through modifications for each stretch to match your fitness level. Start with the knee to chest stretch. 30-second holds per leg to establish joint flexibility and release tension in the lower back and hips. This is a gentle yet effective stretch to enhance mobility in your hip flexors and lower spine. If this feels too intense, keep your other leg bent instead of straightening it on the floor. To deepen the stretch, try extending your non-stretching leg fully and flexing your foot, or gently pulling your knee closer to your chest while keeping your back pressed to the ground. Next, move into downward dog, staying in position for 40 seconds to loosen up muscles and mitigate injury. This full body stretch targets your hamstrings, shoulders, and calves, helping to improve posture and relieve tension. If you're just getting started, keep a slight bend in your knees and focus on pressing your hands into the floor. To make it more challenging, try pedaling your feet, alternating between lifting your heels and pressing them toward the floor to deepen the stretch. If you want to push yourself further, hold the position longer or shift into one-legged downward dog by lifting one leg toward the ceiling. Then, transition into the straddle stretch, staying in position for 30 seconds to relieve tightness and improve endurance. This stretch is excellent for increasing flexibility in the inner thighs, hamstrings, and lower back. If this position is tough, sit on a folded towel or cushion to reduce strain. You can also bring your legs slightly closer together for an easier version. If you're looking for more intensity, walk your hands forward as far as you can while keeping your back straight, or try gently pulsing into the stretch for added depth. Proceed with a low lunge, holding for 30 seconds per side to improve blood and oxygen flow all over the body while stretching the hip flexors and quadriceps. If this stretch feels uncomfortable, try placing your back knee on a cushion for added support. To increase the challenge, lift your arms overhead for a deeper stretch, or twist your torso toward your front knee to engage your core. If you're feeling extra flexible, reach back and grab your back foot to deepen the quad stretch even further. Lastly, finish off with the forward fold with chest expansion, holding this position for 30 seconds to improve balance, flexibility, and range of movement. This multifunctional stretch targets the hamstrings, shoulders, and spine while also opening up the chest. If this stretch is too intense, bend your knees slightly and keep your hands resting on your lower back rather than clasping them together. To increase the intensity, try straightening your legs fully and pulling your hands away from your back to expand the chest even more. As always, take your time and breathe deeply during each stretch. Controlled breathing will help relax your muscles, enhance flexibility, and reduce tension. This entire mobility, balance, and flexibility routine takes less than 10 minutes, but delivers lasting benefits. By consistently doing this 3 times a week, you'll notice increased flexibility, reduced stiffness, and improved posture. Stick with it, and soon enough, you'll feel looser, more mobile, and more in control of your movements. Whether you're stretching to improve balance, relieve tightness, or enhance flexibility, this quick routine will help you move better every day. So if you found this helpful, share this video with a friend who could use a little extra mobility in their life.